This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Southern Magnolia Smiles, a locally owned and operated dental office right here on Washington Avenue in Ocean Springs. Dr. Robbie Williams and his friendly staff have a number of different customizable treatment options and provide a comfortable environment just for you.
Check them out at their website, southernmagnoliasmiles.com, or find them on Facebook and Instagram. Now let's jump into the episode.
What's up, everybody? It's the Brownwater Banter Podcast. I am Jared Seymour. This is Joey Cates.
What up?
And we got Chris Barlow in here today, man, talking. We're going to talk a little bit of hunting and fishing. Is that right?
Yep, sounds good.
Chris runs a charter boat out of where?
For fishing, Ocean Springs. For duck hunts, man, we leave all over. I hunt from state line to state line. Wherever the ducks are, we go.
Nice.
Sweet.
We're sipping on a little bit of brown water as well tonight.
That R&R.
Or this evening, I should say. Yeah, let's
stuff.
discuss that real quick. We got some good stuff here on the top. This is that 1792 foolproof. I put a picture of that on the page this week. Had a lot of comments on that. People that drank it before and tried it. I think it's really good. It's super smooth. And then Joey with his rich and rare reserve.
You know, you warned me of that, and it's actually it's not
good.
bad.
Yeah, I told you.
He played it down very much, and it's way better than what he said it would be.
I'm going to be totally honest on the podcast here. I shit on this all the time when he brings it, and every time I give it to somebody, they say exactly what you just said.
Really?
They like it.
You warned me, but it was good.
It kind of pisses me off a little bit, but hey, if the truth is the truth, you know what I'm saying? So it is a Canadian whiskey. It's a blend. I think this whole liter costs 47 cents, and you can get it at your local liquor store if you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so we got one of these to sip on while we talk hunting and fishing here. So, Chris, how did you get started into the? Let's start with charter boats. Like, how did you get started into that first?
Man, honestly, ever since I was probably a young teenager, it's something on the was always on the back of my head, something I wanted to do.
Right.
And financially, wasn't able to do it for a long time. You know.
You worked some other jobs before you?
Yeah, I worked in the casino industry for about 9 years on and off. Went to college, you know. I got a 4-year, 2-year degree, you know. But schooling wasn't my thing.
Right.
I love school.
I hear you.
I don't.
Hang
I hate
on.
it.
Let me back this up. I'm good at school, but I never loved school.
Right.
But no, I grew up fishing and hunting here. Not duck hunting. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
But grew up fishing here whenever I was old enough to drive. My dad had a 15.5-foot Mitchell boat, and I can go wherever I pleased, and something I always want to do. And a few years back, I was able to start chartering and doing what I love.
How'd you make the leap from working a regular job into transitioning full blown into
charter fishing?
Because to me that seems
It's
like
scary.
No, 100%. It's scary
right?
because there's a lot of unknowns, and it's not so much the fishing boating part, it's the business part and all the unknowns. How many trips are you going to get? Are you going to make money? Can you pay bills?
Right.
I got bills, you know.
That's
we
it.
all do.
That's it.
But,
the weather rains or rains for a month, or the water goes to crap
Exactly.
like it did at
BP oil spill.
BP oil
or,
spill.
yeah, I mean, there's
Yeah.
some things that's happened, right?
Yeah, no, I was lucky enough in the casino world. My boss was good friends to me, and I was able to go to part-time there, and I started chartering part-time. And after a few months of getting into the charter business, I realized it was for me. So I left the casino and just went full-blown full-time. Probably after 2 or 3 months, I want to say I started running trips in April or May, and by July, I was just chartering.
Yeah,
That's
so
sweet.
you made a smooth transition into it, right?
For sure.
What's
I guess you could say smooth,
Yeah.
but as smooth as it could
as
be.
possibly good.
Yeah.
What's it like when you make that first charter trip where, like, you know, you're the captain of the boat, these people paid good money, you know, this ain't it's not for
it's
for
not
fun
fun
for
anymore.
you,
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
Like you have to
Yeah.
produce.
Oh, there's a lot of stress there, and most of that's
No doubt.
preparation. But honestly, I was blessed with good clients from the beginning, and that makes it a lot easier. And at some point, it's like fishing with friends.
Okay.
And it just works, man, and people enjoy it. And the stuff that me and you and seasoned guys see every day might take for granted. These guys have never been on a boat. They're opened up to a new world, and every little thing makes them happy, and it makes you self-gratification, that stuff that you didn't see before. It opens your eyes again, you know.
Joe mentioned that on the podcast previously about guys seeing him throw a net from the front of the boat. Like,
Yep.
we just take that for granted.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
like
take a
what is
lot of
this? A
stuff-
cast net? I've never seen them before.
Right.
Yeah.
We take a lot of stuff for granted down here naturally because you just see it every day,
Grew
right?
up with it.
If you're somebody from, where do you get your clients from? Like now, is it
Man,
northern guys?
all
or-
over. Northern
okay.
guys. I mean, with winter, spring
Snowbirds.
being here, you get a lot of snowbirds. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
But really everywhere, every walks of life, every state, just all over really.
Some of them probably their first time ever being
lot.
out in a body of water like the Gulf of Mexico.
A lot. I tell you, 2
Saltwater.
years ago, I took a lady and her husband, never been fishing before in salt water.
Okay.
Her first trout was first trout of the day. She caught, I think it was 25.5 inches.
Wow.
And she's like, "Oh, is
Damn
that
it.
is that a good one?" I'm like, "Shit." People would fish 10 years to catch. I mean,
Right.
down on where we are, you know, y'all
right.
talked about with Josh Kovacevic, who I went to high school with and friends with, talked about trout.
Sorry
and I'm
about
like, Yeah, and yeah, they're like, "Man, that's a good one," you know. And it just some people don't know, but it opens up their eyes to what we have,
Right.
you know.
That's right. That's right. That's
crazy.
definitely. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool, man. We have a lot to offer down here, especially part of the Gulf of Mexico. So
For sure.
where did you pull your first like set of clients from? You know, when you're this new business,
Yeah.
right? New.
You know, everything pretty much nowadays is online, so that's the
Yeah.
big bulk of
Interwebs.
exactly, interwebs. And then now it's a lot of word of mouth, man. You
Yeah.
take somebody on a good trip and say they're from Vicksburg or Jackson or Northern Alabama. They tell their buddies, and they come and they have a good time, and it keeps on flowing, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Repeat business. I'm
Exactly.
sure is a huge
That's
part of it,
that's-
right?
That's a key to it, and it takes a long time. You know, this is let's see, this 2020 will be my 4th year fishing now, so it definitely takes time to get those repeat clients.
Is it still as much fun to you now that it's a quote unquote job? You know what I mean? Has it?
It's definitely as much fun on the boat, but there's a lot of stress that goes into it, and
Yeah.
breakdowns and preparation and tackle, and just it's never ending. But I love it and I enjoy it. You know,
Yeah. So
a lot of people get burned out on it, but I love it.
what's the talk to us a little bit about that? Because people see you show up at the dock with the boat, right?
Yeah.
They get on your boat, they go out, they fish, right? You clean the fish at the end of the day.
everything's ready. They walk on and walk
And
off
that's
with a
it,
bag of
right?
fillets, hopefully, and
Yeah.
they're on their way. But man, there's 2 or 3 hours of work before they get to the boat, and when they leave, you got to scrub a boat, redo all the rods, fix everything that's broke. Hopefully, nothing broke on the boat that day, because that adds up.
Yeah, that
Refuel.
Refuel, but yeah,
God.
it's a lot of it's work. But man, I tell people jokingly that being on the boat's the easy part, and it really
Yeah,
is.
yeah, that's like I was telling him. Like we're recording these podcast episodes. This is just the the all the editing and the stuff outside
this
of
is
it.
the paycheck.
Yeah,
Right.
you got work to do after
yeah,
after
yeah,
all
this,
these.
is the
for
easy
sure.
part. So that's
But yeah, it definitely gets stressful too. You know, everyone's got slow days. You know,
Yeah.
you always see the pictures of all the good catches, and there's a lot of days where it's slow, and your mind will stress out, thinking, "Should I go on here? Should I go here? Do I need to move? Blah blah
Yeah,
blah.
what am I
What am I
doing
doing?
wrong?
Do we need to change baits? Do we need to move? It's too rough." I mean, it gets stressful for sure, but I still enjoy it.
What do you do on those days where you don't feel like the bite was as hot as you would have liked it to be? Like, do you have clients that is that ever an issue? I mean, obviously they want to catch fish all day, every day, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
mean, it's a reality of fishing, but most people understand.
right.
And sometimes, one good fish or a bunch of small fish, I think people are after two things: numbers or big fish. So if
Okay.
you get a mixture of those, you're doing good.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm sure like doing as much as you do, some spots that you can
Yeah.
catch something.
Oh, for
Right.
sure.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
And in all honesty, there's very few of those days out of
Right.
the whole scheme. There's very few days that's not like really good fishing days,
Yeah.
or at least mediocre days,
Right. Outside of the weather being
Yeah,
terrible.
and a lot of people just want to sit and drink their beer too. So there's always that.
Part of it.
we ain't catching no fish.
Island
let's,
tour.
Let's go pull up to Wahoo's and
Yeah,
just sit and
you
drink
always
and
know when you got a group of guys and it's 6:37 in the morning, you haven't left the dock, and they're oh yeah,
I might know some people like
it's
that.
it's on
know
for
a guy.
an interesting day.
eat. Yeah.
Just
I might-
stay inside the boat.
Yeah.
I have a couple stories.
Yeah. Well, I've never had anybody like belligerently drunk or anything like that, but I've had some people have great times, and
Yeah.
that's
Right.
what it's all
Wow,
about.
it
That's
is.
why. Yeah, hey, these people might work. They might be doctors, lawyers, attorneys,
Right.
whatever, and they want to go relax, or they might be just normal guys like us,
Yeah.
and they just want to relax. So
Yep.
it's
Or
what-
not have
it's
to
what
deal with
it's-
the headache of.
It's
of
what
it.
it's about, you know.
Of owning a boat and trailering a boat and everything like
You
that.
do the math on it, man. It's not a bad way to just
No.
sell all your
Not at
shit
all.
and just
No
charter
way,
trips
yeah.
a few times a year, right?
Hey,
Like-
I have plenty of guys that do that work full-time jobs, don't want the headache of maintenance, and
Right.
when boats sit, boats break. And
Yeah.
that's what happens,
yeah.
Bad,
I have
bad
one sitting
fuel.
right now as we
Yeah, I'm
speak.
sorry.
I'm about to say I'm not smart enough to do that. I'd rather pay the note and have the boat sit there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Why Ocean Springs? Is that because that's where you live?
Close to town, convenience, and pretty. I live, Latimer area.
Yeah,
So I
okay.
live just north of Interstate, so it's
That's
a
right
straight
where I'm
shot.
at.
I got bait, tackle, ice, everything I need there.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's convenient. In the future, I may get a slip somewhere, possibly Biloxi. I haven't really thought all that through yet, but that's probably the next step.
What
Yeah.
boat do you fish? What do you
I
fish
have
right
a Skeeter bay boat with a 250 Yamaha. It's doing good.
now?
in the
22.
22 and a half.
22
Yeah,
and a half.
it's basically the same width as their 24, but it's got higher sides, so you feel like you're more in the boat instead
Right.
of about to fall out like some lower gunnel bay boats.
Right. A lot of room to fish on that boat.
Yeah, it's good. It does great.
Hell yeah. You do we I don't think we mentioned it yet. You also are a guided hunt, right?
Correct.
You do that as well?
Correct. Yeah,
Ducks.
different boat, but I guide diver ducks.
Okay.
I get all walks of life for that, but we mostly target redheads, bluebills, and buffleheads, and yeah, just doing good.
What made you
That's
decide?
awesome.
Yeah, what made you decide
Man.
to add that into the mix? Is it
So I have not been duck hunting my whole life. Shout out to Patrick Natel, Bobby Davidge IV. They took me duck hunting probably 7 or 8 years ago. I did not know it existed down here. You know, it's kind of crazy thinking all
Yeah.
these birds are coming from Canada or Alaska or wherever they're coming to migrate down here. But man, I went the first time. We shot one teal that day, and I was kind of addicted. I get people to ask me back to fishing for a second, and all walks of things on the water. You know, it's, some people, I don't know why I get this term. They call me a waterman. There's not just fishing or hunting, man. There's crawfishing, there's frog gigging, there's alligator hunting.
Yeah.
I had a commercial flounder gigging boat from 18 till last year. I just sold it because I don't have time to do it. But I used to gig flounder all the time, every I don't know 3-4 days a week. But there's a whole realm of things to do on the water, and I did not know that duck hunting existed on the coast. Duck hunting exists every state. Everywhere you can go, you can kill a duck. You go out to work. You go out to work down here for sure because it's not simple. And you're not
Saltwater duck hunting's a whole different level.
I mean, but you got marsh, you got flooded timber. You know, you say North Pascagoula wood ducks. There's wood ducks just about in every state in the South. But no, I started hunting the marsh for years, and I tell you what, kind of changed. Whatever I do, I kind of get dedicated to and get obsessed with.
Right.
And I'll jump from thing to thing. It's how I am. Like fishing. Like, hey, I love catching big speckled trout. But when that slows down or something, I want to go catch triple tail. Then I might want to go catch Kobe and then snapper and keep going and going. But back to the duck hunting, I hunted the marsh for a long time, you know, shooting teal, gray ducks, different stuff. And I think it was maybe about 5-6 years ago, I was like, man, diver ducks. Why would people want to hunt these, you know? And with wood ducks and marsh duck hunting, most of them fly early and they're done. Like wood ducks, man, after 20 minutes, you might as well walk out. You're not going to see another one unless you jump one. But I started diver hunting, and I realized they fly all day, and it's something different. You shoot a lot of birds. You know, it's good birds, and you don't know what duck is in the sound. There's probably been every species of duck that you could possibly want at some point coming to sound. But anyways, I transitioned over to diver duck hunting and got obsessed with it and started guiding. So it's been good.
That's crazy, man.
The water can get choppy. I tell you what, I've taken a butt beating this past week.
Where do you hunt that particular
I
duck?
hunt everywhere, man. I put a lot of time in scouting. Scouting is like key to everything, and these birds
So that's
move.
the day you don't have a trip. You just go out there and ride around. And
well,
have to...
like the first probably 2 or 3 weeks before the season, I'm out every day. I'm probably fishing as I'm scouting.
Right.
That's cool.
But
Cast and blast?
Yeah, well, then it's cast before it's opening. But yeah, just looking, man.
Yeah.
But binoculars, a lot of glass time.
Okay.
And they move all season.
Are they
move.
up in the marsh areas like you said, or like
Pretty much on all the outskirts, but the open Mississippi Sound, basically.
Really?
From shallow to deep, they can be anywhere.
Well, there's a lot of places you can't just pull up and shoot guns, right?
Correct.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to
mean,
figure out
yeah.
here. Like, how do you what's the laws on that?
As long as you're not in city limits and you're on the open sound, you're good.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But there's a lot of, coastal marsh hunting towards the Louisiana line, Alabama line, and some places in between that people, target other ducks, but it's pretty much open Mississippi Sound.
Okay. Do they taste good?
Yes, so there's a lot of misconception about divers being fish eaters. Not true totally. Redheads are more vegetarian than mallards. They're delicious.
Really?
Buffleheads are so small, they're basically eating seagrass and the roots of the seagrass, which are called tubers.
Okay.
But they're good. Bluebills can be a little stronger, but most of the ones we have taste really good. It's all diet. So you got a bird eating in a sewage pond. I don't think you're gonna want to eat him.
No.
Right.
But if they're vegetarians and eating grass, all winter, they're
The
good.
last ones I ate was been a few years ago, and
What kind were they? You remember?
I think they were a wood duck.
Teal's always been the best. Teal is
For as far as inland ducks, wood duck and teal doesn't get much better than that.
Okay. I wasn't super
They
huge
allow you-
on it, man. I don't know.
Really?
That would,
Well, duck. Well, look,
How
humans.
do you let's get into that. How do you eat? How do you cook your duck when you gonna go for a duck? What's your favorite?
Can I say
duck
with
recipe?
heat?
that's actually the perfect response.
You
sir.
said how did you eat them? I was gonna say with my mouth and a fork.
You're
You're
Um,
fitting
man,
right
man,
in. You're fitting
your
right
perfect
in. Keep
duck
going.
recipe.
So look, everyone does duck poppers, right? They do cream cheese.
Oh, yeah,
jalapeno
yeah,
bacon, put on the
bacon.
grill.
Yeah.
That's the number one way I assume that
Right.
dove and duck is
Duck,
cooked.
yeah.
Yeah. those shit.
But I like to grill them. You can marinate them with like Dell's steak season and grill them like a steak. But the key with duck is one, it needs to be room temperature, just like a good steak before you cook it. And two, you really don't want to go above medium rare. That's when they get stronger.
Chewy.
Yeah.
But you do want to get the blood out of them. But man, you can brown them in a skillet. You can do crock pot duck. You can do, pot roast duck. But there's a bunch of different ways, man. You
Gumbo.
can fry it.
We
Man.
always had gumbo.
Gumbo.
Duck
Oh
gumbo.
yes, man. There's an old time recipe I got for duck gumbo. It's actually cute gumbo. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
We don't want to talk
Coots
about
are-
them.
I ate some rabbit a couple
Yeah.
years ago, and that was legit. But the
Tender.
duck, yeah, it
What
was.
about Nutria? You ever ate Nutria?
No. Seriously,
So
you eating it?
You know, Nutria is one of the healthiest meats you can eat.
They look delicious.
They live such short lives.
Is that true?
Yeah, no shit.
All right,
They
tell me
they
that story.
live.
I gotta hear
So in a nutshell, they're vegetarian. They live short lives, and they grow fast. So they don't have time to get toxins in their body.
Okay.
Just don't let the rat tail confuse you.
Yeah.
But when
Cut it
you,
off.
I've only eaten two, man. I got a friend that's a big trapper and it's fur guy, sells fur and sells a lot of meat too. And but no, he was telling me this, and I tried two last year, but they're actually pretty good.
Wow.
I believe that. I've never had
Man,
it before.
when you skin it out, it looks just like rabbit meat, but it's got a hint of like, it sounds weird. It's got a hint of like berry or nut flavor to it.
Wow, because the reason I say I believe you is because I recently went on a hunt in Texas and we had a wildebeest, and we ate that. And
Sweet.
the guy told me, I was like, "There's no way this is gonna taste good. This is a big testosterone bull of an animal, right?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, trust me. Take the backstrap, go home, cook it like a steak." And that's what we did. And I was like, "Holy shit! Like it was good."
Not
You
a
know,
lot of animals out there that probably don't taste good.
that's probably true too.
You said you don't think there is?
I said I don't think there
carnivores.
Okay,
You
yeah,
don't
Yeah.
eat, you know. I mean, you can eat them. Don't no lie. You know, cats and bears and stuff you can eat, but that's not for me.
I don't think I've ever had any.
I don't think I have. I don't think I've ever had anything like that.
I've eaten alligator
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Alligator's
good.
good.
Tail
Yeah.
anyway. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never had. I don't think any.
You can chop your ducks up too and fry them, man. And it tastes just like chicken nuggets.
You do any
Yeah.
alligator hunting at all?
Not for charter, just for fun. I've killed, maybe been part of maybe killing 6. Matter of fact, that big one I got killed this past year.
Yeah.
I hunted him 2 years ago for 5 nights in a row. Never could get close. So
The one in Mary Walker.
shout out to
Wasn't that the one that killed it?
I
Right
think it
over
was
Mary
David Soche that killed it. Yeah, Mary Walker. I think it was
Yeah.
a beast, son.
Okay.
Walker? 13 foot or something.
I remember
think it's
hearing
13
about
and a
that
half,
in Mary
yeah.
Walker. Yeah.
That thing was there for a while, man.
Gigantic.
All snapper season and come and eat your snapper. As soon as alligator season come and got smart.
Disappeared.
Yeah,
That's how you
Trust
get
me.
big.
He didn't
How'd you
get 13
smart?
foot.
Yeah,
for no
by being
reason.
stupid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I said, 2 years ago, I spent like 5 nights in a row chasing that dude. Never could get within, not even 100 yards. You know?
How does that work? What is the process
Should have
behind
put a
that?
should have put a clock in it.
So basically, and you know,
That's good.
in Mississippi, you know, you got to draw tags to get one.
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can't have
Yeah.
any bait. You basically got to snag them with a rod and reel. So you got to get close enough to
Treble
put a hook in
hooking,
them.
right?
Yeah,
That's
tough.
crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
Good stuff.
Just
Yeah.
looking for the eyes, just the big balls.
They're
right?
smart, man. They see the spotlights day one, and they know what's up.
It's time to
I've
go.
watched Swamp People, so I'm pretty sure I could do it.
Yeah, no doubt. You look like a swamp person.
Yeah. I'm from down that way. That's killer. What did the Bonnie Carey thing mess you up at all this year? Like, what was
Yes.
that like for you?
Um,
And the algae, all that shit, right?
Yeah.
Let's be honest here. So no lie, you know, the algae was bad in Long Beach, Pascagoula. We all saw the Nickelodeon slime green on the top of the
Yeah,
water.
Yeah.
And it, you know, we had a lot of fresh water. It was tough. I tell you, the toughest part was keeping bait alive. I had to get bait and recirculate. If I drew any water in from the sound, the fresh water would kill it within
it.
like 10 minutes, man. I lost my button bait this year. But anyways, no, there was fish to be found, but we were blessed being over here, kind of away from it a little bit. But then
Yeah.
when the media, when they closed the beaches at Ocean Springs and Biloxi,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was on the water that day, and it just got slightly saltier, more bait fish than I've ever seen. I think that was in July when they closed it over here. And man, the fishing got good, and the media just kind of strewed it a little bit.
Okay.
And we didn't have visitors, and we weren't running trips, and there's fish to be there. And I know they had all the beaches closed, but man, it looked healthy and great. The water got clearer, it was saltier,
Right.
and but yeah, we heard a lot.
Does that
man.
algae stay in close to the shore? Is that right? Does anybody
Yeah,
know?
so that was, you know, a green algae bloom, which was from fresh water from all the pesticides and fertilizers feeding it. But yeah, it stayed close in, and it kind of dispersed as it went out.
So even with the beaches closed in those bad areas, technically you still could have went right out and caught fish, right?
Yeah, there's just
There
a
people-
liability there, and,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
but the main problem
Somebody
is people
gets
weren't
sick.
coming. They
That's
said,
right.
"Oh, well,
Yeah.
let's." I mean, I'm sure it's in the casino industry too. People just weren't coming.
Yeah.
They were going down the road to Orange Beach or wherever. So the lack of tourists here, just phone didn't ring this summer.
That's
And
tough.
that's everybody. It's not me. I'm sure every charter
Yeah.
boat here on the coast
Right.
had a struggle with it this year.
It's not good when you got to pay your bills. Too.
I was going to say, what you as a charter boat captain, like, how do you deal with that? I mean, you just got to be obviously smart and have money, you know.
A lot of it's the trips you already got booked and the ones you try to get is being honest with them and what the situation is. Honesty and communication is definitely key. And on 4-hour trips, when I normally don't go further out, I did go further out or go further east or just get away from it.
So you're telling your clients, like, hey, there's ways that I can maybe get around this
say,
kind of
hey,
stuff?
the beach is closed for the half mile or whatever it is. Let's just go further out.
We'll jump
and
the ship island
just
or
eat the fuel
like
bill and take them and make some money, you know.
Yeah.
Damn.
So it's just how it was, and that's everybody on the coast. I mean, the guys on the west end of the state had it real bad.
Yeah.
They were going to Chandelier, Louisiana Marsh every day, so they were burning fuel.
I hope that's one thing that through this podcast we can kind of express to people, because I'm learning it myself too. Is just like what it is to be in that business, right? I mean, like you said, people show up, they see you in the boat, they get in, they fish, they leave, they take their fillets in a bag, and that's what it should be. But hopefully we can educate people.
Yeah, there's a lot of work behind the
going
scenes.
on behind the
And I
scenes,
think honestly most of them all know that and appreciate it. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Do y'all have any type of association from all the charter boat captains around here that's of any significance that y'all can help each other out? Or
Yeah, we have a few multimedia pages for licensed captains only where we can talk about issues.
Okay.
And get them brought up and stuff like that. Closed circuit, certified captains only from the state of Mississippi. But
awesome.
But yeah, man, we definitely talked about it, and I mean, it is what it is. And matter of fact, I heard the river's high as ever up north right now, so hopefully it's not a repeat this year because it's coming.
Yeah, I saw Delbert Hoseman gave a couple good speeches.
Oh, really?
Well, these are a few months back, about the possibility of them not opening the Bonnie Carey as much and as long. There's the Morganza spillway, I think, is a little
Baton Rouge.
further north that wouldn't hopefully.
Rouge?
I don't remember.
One of them's in Baton Rouge.
But possibly utilizing that one instead. Obviously he's not he's now Lieutenant Governor, not Secretary of State. So hopefully that plan continues and that the focus still continues on that whole entire issue.
Yeah.
But do y'all have anyone that's lobbying for y'all that's like that has a line of communication to the state government?
There is. We also have a charter for hire task force that we meet with the DMR.
Okay.
And they just had a meeting. I was hunting in Venice for fun a few weeks ago. They just had a meeting. But there's stuff like that where all the charter boat captains come together and talk about issues with the state government, DMR, and see what they can do about it. But yeah, trust me, they got some lobbyists going on.
Good.
Stuff like that.
It's
definitely an ongoing thing.
Right. They need to know what y'all are experiencing as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. They're aware. They know now.
What's y'all's relationship with the DMR? How is that some a resource for y'all? I mean, obviously you're in communication with them all the time, I'm sure. But,
yeah.
They do that from time to time.
Oh, is that them drilling again?
No, it's somebody cutting grass. Like every time we record one, it just shows up. But
I thought this was like Saw or something about
that.
Right. Like, is this a game?
Do they? Are they? You feel like an advocate for y'all? I mean, are they something a resource or an obstacle?
For sure,
or
man.
how does that go?
Let me just leave it at this. It's the government. It's the government.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
They help as much as they can for sure. So they do a good job.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get some of them guys in here to come talk about
for
it,
sure.
like from their perspective, right? What they see, what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish.
Yep.
Conservation, hopefully.
There's so many issues, not good or bad. There's just so many issues to keep track of. They're working their tails off.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on. So it's hard for them to focus on one thing for sure.
Absolutely. What's on the horizon for you, man? I mean, just to continue, obviously booking trips, but
Yes.
I mean, what are you looking to? Obviously going to continue both hunting and fishing.
Correct.
So
yeah, bigger boat eventually, and hopefully multiple boats eventually. And
okay, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah, I don't have any retirement, so I got to do something.
you working inshore and offshore? Y'all you do snapper?
So right now, not so much cobia. We catch a few inshore, but I do snapper trips. The state for hire guides only get a really small season.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not federally permitted. The federal permanent guys, get 60 days.
Yeah, they got it.
But no, I fish pretty much from the islands in, and then I snapper fish and just be on the island. So a little bit of everything,
So hopefully to grow, what like another? You said a bigger boat, and then obviously maybe a couple boats, right? Have some people working for you.
Correct. Yeah, I have another boat right now. I'm about to start rebuilding. It's going to be probably a year or two project, so that'll be the next one. It'll be kind of a do-it-all boat. It's a catamaran boat, and that'll get me offshore and to the islands more comfortably and hold more people. So that'll be the next step, and then from there, who knows?
Hell yeah, man.
Are you all out in the boat? Y'all ever go wade? You ever wade?
It's really hard to get people to wade in the water.
It is.
From here, a lot of what we have is tourists and families and stuff like that,
Right.
and like first timers, but every once in a while I get some more experienced people that may want to wade, and honestly, I don't think I've even done a wade fishing trip that I can think of. But you never know. I definitely would jump on the opportunity.
I'm sure if
'cause
somebody
I'm
asked you, you
down
could make
for
it happen,
Yeah.
right?
Correct.
I love
Correct.
wading. I love
Yeah.
it.
A lot of people are like, ooh, sharks, alligators. Yeah, you know how many people are fascinated there's alligators at the islands?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big ones.
Yeah.
Big ones.
Yes,
big,
indeed.
big ones.
Yeah. What
They're everywhere.
what is if people want to find you online, what do they need to look up on Facebook, Instagram? I know you're on both of those. That's why I saw you.
Instagram, I'm at Barlow's Charters, and Facebook, you can look up Barlow's Charters and Guide Services, and my website's barlowscharters.com.
Okay. So
you can look me up on any of those three platforms.
shoot you a message if somebody's listening to this and they're
Correct.
looking to have a good time on the water and go catch some fish, man. Reach out and
Correct.
touch it, huh?
That's awesome.
What is there anything that we didn't touch on, man, that you want to say? I mean, that's from your perspective, or anything, any issues that we're not aware of that's going on?
Not right now. Everything's been going pretty good. The key to down here is, man, we got a lot of diversification. There's a lot of different species to catch. You know? Obviously they've been hammering the sheep's head this fall and winter, which has been awesome. So that usually kicks off our season in February, March.
Bumper crop this year, right?
What's
Huge
that?
Bumper crop this year. Huge sheephead season.
There's been
Oh,
big
really?
ones, yeah. So typically, March is the one time they spawn, and that's when we do really good with them. But this has been an epic fall and winter bite.
I wonder if there's any correlation there with any of the things that we've talked about, or is it just one of the things?
I have a theory that all that fresh water pushed them over to the east instead
Okay.
of Louisiana marsh and hanging out there during summer,
we're
and that
seeing
they
more?
came back this way. That's just a thought, in my opinion. But there's definitely a lot of them. In a normal year, people catch them in fall and winter, but not by the mass numbers they've been catching them this year. It's
I have seen
That's
some
kind of y'all's savior this year, right?
for sure for this time of year. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
lot of even the big charter boats that mostly troll at the islands and do stuff like that. They've been still running, catching sheep's head consistently. So it's
Do you
been
like to eat
good.
them?
They're not bad eating.
I think they're okay.
I'd rather eat it than a trout.
What?
Yeah,
I've heard people say that.
Base snapper.
I've heard
like-
people say that.
yeah, they're
yeah.
good, man.
Yeah.
Hard
do
to
you
clean, but
I was gonna say, do you have a special way of cooking it?
We make fake crab cakes out of them a
Yeah,
lot.
I've heard of that. That's cool.
Just boil the meat 10 minutes with crab oil, let
Mhm.
it cool, dice up some onions and peppers, saute it, and mix it with some eggs and breadcrumbs and fry it in a little bit of olive oil.
Sounds
Dropping a lot of
delicious.
recipes on the podcast today.
Sounds
Yeah, I got
delicious.
tons. It's in the
Y'all
South.
writing
We
this
gotta have
down.
recipes.
Yeah, y'all better be writing this down.
yeah, duck recipes.
Speaking of
sheephead
recipes, let's talk about some other stuff. You ever frog gig down here,
I
or ate wild frog?
yes, yeah, I have
Yeah,
done
I've
that,
eaten that.
and they taste amazing.
Man,
Yeah,
when,
they're
when I was
good.
when I was driving over here, I was thinking, I haven't been duck hunting my whole life. I didn't know about it. I've been duck hunting 8 years. Frog gigging, I probably went 5 years ago with a buddy.
Right.
And I've ate them at Asian buffets, and they're like, but
That's
man,
not
the
a
frogs
good, that's
here
not
would-
a good representation of anything.
Because it tastes like
folks.
bubble gum.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
just tell
not.
people, imagine the best chicken wing you've ever eaten in your life,
Yes.
but more juicy and more flavorful, just delicious.
You mentioned that about the Asian buffet, though. Like every time I go to one of those and I look at the crawfish up there, I think to myself, I hope.
Where did they come from?
Well, that, and I hope to God that there's no out of town tourists that come down here
same.
and eat that and think why does everybody down here like crawfish? I had them at blah 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 buffet. That is not a
Hey,
representation
I
of
had some
what they
clients
are.
last spring, and I stopped by a local store here and had some crawfish, and I brought them on the boat, man.
That's
and I
killer.
said, man, you want some crawfish? They're like, yeah, we just ate some. I'm like, wait, you're from California? I'm like, hold up. He's like, yeah, every year I get them shipped in. We have a huge crawfish pool. I'm like, what the heck? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like, how much are you paying?
As I was saying
A
that
lunch.
though, it is kind of a good thing.
It's expanded, you know?
If people do try and don't like it selfishly, that keeps the prices lower for us.
Yeah,
you know what I
right.
mean? But if I'm sure anybody that is in the crawfish business, they're
Yeah.
like, screw you, asshole. We want the prices to go up, right?
Well,
Yeah.
they're cheap
But-
this year
well-
already.
well,
they're
like-
super cheap.
You know, a friend of ours, Brandon Sherman,
Yeah.
big shout out to him. He lives in Tennessee. He's always out in Vegas and stuff. And he's what you're talking about. He's ran into places that have crawfish bowls,
Yeah.
and he's like, "What the
Yeah.
hell are y'all doing
Yeah.
boiling crawfish out here?" And one of the times, if I remember correctly, him telling me it was like the people that owned the place were from Louisiana, so
they
were
brought
having,
it over. Yeah.
Exactly.
Ship
That's
them
how it
up.
happens.
And but when you do that, demand goes up.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
it's
Well,
harder
look
for
at the
us to
blue
get
crabs.
No
You know,
doubt.
you think we'd have.
God,
you
dude.
think? I was just thinking about this the other day. As many blue crabs as we have, you think there'd be blue crab boils and stuff at restaurants and stuff like that. I mean, look at Maryland. You know, most Maryland crabs, a lot of
Yeah.
them come from Louisiana.
Right.
They're
right.
what, $12 a dozen here? They go up there and they're $65 a dozen.
Yeah, I know.
But you think restaurants would capitalize on that and have big blue crab boils and show you how to pick them and stuff, just for the
My
just
dad
for the
always talks about
satisfaction of it,
used
you
to
know?
they gave them things away. You
Yeah.
couldn't, and
because
now
she had so many of them. You
yeah,
couldn't eat 'em.
and it's just different now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they had a lot of more waterfront access than we do now.
Yeah.
A lot of
Yeah.
waterfronts bought up now than back in the day when they were there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm guessing.
I don't know.
I would think so.
It's a lot of work for a little bit of meat, but they're good.
It's
They
so
are
worth
good.
it though, man.
Thank you, Mom, for picking all these crab meat for me when I was a kid. I would just come in from playing. I was never inside.
No.
Like I was never inside to eat and come in. There'd be a bowl of crab meat. It's just like magic. And there'd
You
be
just
like
eating it like cereal?
and then there'd be
Mash.
peeled shrimp. I'm like, now older, I got to do all this work. I'm like, man, my mom did all this for me.
Yeah.
Like, what is
It's
she
funny how
thinking?
life
And
works.
then I got to pick my wife's too, and
Yeah.
my kids.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like, God bless.
Yeah.
What's going
Yeah.
on here?
You can develop a routine and it gets a little bit
Yeah.
quicker, but it is tedious, but it is
You talk
so
about-
worth
So
it.
good.
For sure, you talk about the flavor of duck meat. We're so tied up on. If you think about it, the evolution of humans' taste buds in America. Meat doesn't come from plastic.
That's true.
We're used to
Right.
we're used to beef, pork, chicken.
Yeah.
Anything else, our taste buds aren't used to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an assault
different.
on
Yeah.
the palate, right? So I guess we're giving the Rich and Rare a thumbs up. Is that what we're doing?
It's not bad.
It's not
I'm
bad.
not much of a
I'm-
drinker,
I'm
but it's not
trying to
bad.
get y'all
Folks,
on
if
the
you're,
boat.
if you're following the podcast, man, I don't know. Maybe
They need to sponsor. They need to come on. We need to sponsor.
Yeah,
us.
they
Rich
know
Ray,
shit.
we're bringing
go
Rich Ray
go
up.
go. I can't really say this in good faith. Maybe go check it out. I don't
Go
know what to
check it
tell you.
out.
I'm not
Do-
a huge
do yourself
fan.
a favor.
I'm not.
Do yourself a favor.
Maybe you'll convert me, but right now
Yeah.
I'm not with it.
All right, well.
1792 gives
Bougie.
a thumb. Yeah, it gives a thumbs up.
Like I told you, the John Emerald from Opelika, Alabama is legit. I'm gonna bring you a
Yes,
bottle.
yeah, we did talk about
I
that.
think it was their first legal distillery since Prohibition. I think they, I don't know, they've been out maybe 8 or 10 years. They got them in Georgia. There's a few places. I think they have them in Harrisburg and Mobile, but
Yeah.
I'll pick up a bottle. But John Emerald, it is good.
You need to come back and we'll drink that bottle and we'll
sounds
talk
good.
more about what's going on with you. I want to have reoccurring guests on here, man. I want to have
Yeah,
to
for sure.
keep you guys coming in here and talking, letting us know what's going on, and talking hopefully directly to a market that's interested in what y'all got to say. So
Yeah.
thanks so much everybody that's stuck with us and has listened to it. Hope you enjoyed it. Chris, thanks for coming by, man.
Thank you,
Taking the
man.
time out of your
Appreciate it.
day. I know
Thank
you're
you.
a busy guy
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
to come talk to us, man. So until the next one.